Hi, my name is Michelle Christensen, and welcome to Family We've Got Your Back. I have a degree in family science, and I would like to put that to use. I have 5 children. I've been married for almost 24 years in February, and 3 of my children are adults, and 2 of them are teenagers. I think sometimes we were successful in the things that my husband and I did to raise our children, that sometimes we were successful in the things that we did as a couple to strengthen our relationship. And I'd like to kind of pass my successes and failures on to you so that we can all work together to strengthen families, if that's something you're interested in. I think in today's society that the family is falling apart, that it has many enemies, that relationships and the way we treat each other is devalued, that it's the me generation, that you have to think about yourself before you think about other people, and it's kind of making the family less important, and I think people are suffering. And so I would like to combat that with this service and help people learn some skills so that they can become better at relationships. I had to work really, really hard my whole life, and I still do, even though I studied relationships so that I could understand how to get along with people, because I was so nerdy and awkward, and I still am nerdy and awkward, and I just work really, really hard every day of my life to figure out how to make other people feel great about themselves when they're around me. And sometimes I fail spectacularly, and sometimes I'm somewhat successful. But I would like to help impart a little bit of the things that I've worked so hard to learn with you, so that if you are interested in strengthening your family relationships and your relationships with other people, that you can have some tools. I'd like to offer ideas that might help. It's just a service that I'd like to provide. And the way I'd like to go about it is each week I'd like to have a word or a definition of a topic that we can define, and then have a short little discussion about that, and then have an activity so that we can work on that topic or idea and implement it into our lives so that we can become better at relationships. The first one that I would like to talk about is kind of at the heart of families, and that is love. Now, I believe that love is a choice. I believe it is a verb. It's an action. It takes effort. And that it's not some nebulous feeling that just happens to you, but that you choose it. Because your thoughts about other people create how you feel about other people. And those feelings can have a huge effect on other people. So the first definition is love. And the one that most people can agree on, and there's so many, and this is very simplified and a short definition of it, but it is a deep affection for people or others. The feeling, a deep feeling of affection. It's often accompanied by a strong emotional attachment and a desire for their well-being and happiness. So because the main part of love is affection, I wanted to look up the word affection as well. And the root word of affection is affect. And affect means to have an influence on, or to make a difference, or to touch the feelings of someone, or to move emotionally. And so extrapolating that, it means that if you love someone, You have an influence over them, and they have an influence over you. So if you love someone, wouldn't it be logical to want what is best for them? To me, that means you have to put yourself aside sometimes. Especially as a mother, it means you have to put yourself aside a lot and to take care of the needs and sometimes the wants and the emotional well-being and the physical well-being of other people. So that means love is not selfish. It is kind. It is thoughtful. It is respectful. And respect is a definition we'll talk about later in another episode. But it means that you treat other people well. To me, anyway. That's what I gleaned from that definition. If you have another definition that you'd like to share with me, my email address is familywevegotyourback@gmail.com. No apostrophe, no caps. Please let me know what your thoughts are about that definition. So for the activity this week, I'd like us to ponder, to think hard about the effect that we have on other people, the influence we have on them, and decide what influence and effect you'd like to have. So the one you have now and the one you would like to have. The one you'd like to work on becoming, if that makes sense. So with the activity, as you're thinking, think about specific people. And do you like where you are in your relationship with them? Do you like the influence you have on them and the influence they have on you? Do you want to improve that? Think about ways you can improve. Think about ways that you do well. Think about what you like, what you don't like. And as you're planning and wondering, act as well. So for example, I would like, with my oldest child, to have a more positive relationship with her. Not that it's a negative relationship. We love each other very deeply. It's more, she's an adult now, and I am no longer in charge, I guess you could say, of her well-being and welfare. She is. She is an adult, and she is now responsible for herself. It is no longer my responsibility to make sure that she eats well and spends her money appropriately. It's so, not that I was so restrictive before, but it's now no longer my job. And so that's hard to let go. That's really hard to let go. And so sometimes there's some tension there. And I don't want that. So I would like to work on the effect that I have on her and have it be support instead of mother-daughter, if that makes sense. So in my relationship with her, I'm going to focus on positivity and encouragement and support instead of correction. So that's just an example from my own life of one way that I would like to be more positive in my love and influence over someone. So if you have something that you'd like to work on, go for it. It takes effort, and you will be rewarded in that effort. So thanks for tuning in. And remember, if you have any questions or topics you'd like to talk about, or any help that you would like to receive from me, I am I'm a family life educator, or trained as a family life educator, and I can help you with that. So email me at familywevegotyourback@gmail.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.